Right, hello. These are the colocasias from the last video, which I've just pulled out. These are all grown in filter of my pond, so not in the ground. They're grown in pure water, albeit fairly nutrient-rich water. So I've just chopped these. Some of these are quite big. So I've chopped the roots off, chopped the top off. So that's what they look like. Like I said, the ones that are in pots, I'm going to leave in pots and dry the whole pot out and see if they overwinter like that. But this method is obviously tried and tested. So these are fresh, which I've just done. And I've got a couple here that I'd done probably in a previous video a couple of weeks ago. So after a couple of weeks of drying out, they obviously brown off, die back and dry out. So what you want to do at this stage is, as it dries the outer layers like an onion, just peel these back, get rid of any dead. You don't want any of that. Again, you can trim the roots right back to the bulb, and then obviously just keep it as dry as you can. And I'll probably peel all that back, leave it another week or so to dry out, and then maybe chop this back a bit more if needed, and just make sure you pull off any dead or mushy stuff you want to dry, and they'll be ready to overwinter then, which will be in a cool cupboard indoors. You can keep them around room temperature, sort of, not really, you know, somewhere between 18 and 20 is ideal. And you know, just keep an eye on them. I'd probably wrap each one individually in newspaper and put them in a cardboard box or a paper bag, and then maybe once a month just check on them, make sure there's no rot. If you do get any rot, it'll be probably at the bottom is normally the case, and if it start getting mushy, you can just scoop that out till you get to the hard stuff. You can use yellow sulphur powder. I've tried it with and without. It doesn't make that much difference. It's supposed to be a anti-fungicide, so it should stop it from rotting, but I normally don't bother. Like I say, as long as you check them once a month or so, then you should be good to go on that for spring next year. Obviously, the smaller they are, the less chance you've got of making it through. But I've had bulbs smaller than this come through before. You have to excuse my fingernails, obviously, on my gardener. They're dirty at the moment because I've been rummaging about in soil. So there's them. So they're all the colocasias. I've just dug out my red and sete bananas and chopped them back. So I literally just took a spade. These are actually in large pots. So I literally just took a spade to the edge all the way round the root ball and yanked it out. Obviously broke a lot of roots, that doesn't matter. Let that dry out, trim them back. Again, with the same as the colocasias, you want to trim the foliage back as close as you can. Let it dry out. Any mushy bits pull off, and when it's all totally dried out, after a couple of weeks, ideally upside down or leant against something so all the water can drain out, and they'll be good to store as well. These ones will take colder storage. I normally have these in my conservatory, which does get down to maybe about 4 degrees in the worst winter days, but in general it sits around 5 to 7 degrees throughout the winter, and they sail through no problem. I'll put them again in a box or a paper bag, not a plastic bag, so they'll sweat and rot off. Alright, so that's just a little update on overwintering colocasia and the bananas. I'll catch you on the next one.